To go into these settlements, I guess we'll call them, these camps, and with your camera, not with a cell phone. Like I'm assuming, like not with your cell phone, with your camera, right?
No, I brought a
And
DSLR and a 50,
yeah,
like I mentioned last time, a 50 is my
yeah,
baby, so there was no way I was doing this project without it.
yeah. So there's some, like, obviously some pictures where you can kind of get in behind them without them noticing either, and or if they're, like you said, having the pictures with no humans actually in the photo itself. But when you're sitting there and taking their picture in their circumstance, especially if you're getting like a story or a quote from them, how did you go about building that relationship and building that trust to get that permission to do that with them?
Each situation was a little bit different. Sometimes there is one photo where you can see a big, huge football field, and there's one young man sitting in his tent in the middle of the field. In that situation, I was able to kind of like make eye contact, say hello from afar, and then kind of like slowly approach, making sure that he knew that I wasn't going to be bringing any like potential danger to him. I, of course, also have to make sure that I'm not being a complete fool, and I'm acknowledging that my own personal safety is also a factor in the situation. But in this case, I basically used like your normal nonverbal cues. I communicated with the person. I was like, hey, I'm taking pictures. I'm doing a project. Do you mind if I take your picture? Do you mind if I take your picture with your face in it? Getting consent was a big deal for me building this project. There were some cases where there was a large group of people that seemed to have like a different energy and kind of like a higher level vibe about the group that was making me also be a little bit more sensitive. So I grabbed a shot of them from behind just in case. Once I interacted with them, they were like, no photos, please, ma'am, go away with your scary camera. So these guys, there was like very clearly active drug use going on. In approaching a group of people where this was happening, you obviously have to be sensitive both for their personal safety and your own. And still enough of a glimpse into their life and their reality and their story that I still wanted to capture it despite kind of like those barriers.
And by the looks of it, you actually you got around to the front end and interact with them. Can you tell us rather about what this interaction was like?
So these guys on this side were open to hearing what I had to say. There's a lot of times a little bit of like back and forth conversationally that you have to earn the trust of these people. Sometimes it happens in like 2 or 3 sentences. Sometimes I hang around with them for like half an hour just to like build the friendship before I even ask if I can take their picture. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, they know that's where it's going. They can see the camera in my hand. I've never hidden the camera. I literally carry it, like so basically like a baby in my arm so that I can still be open, not look like I have a weapon, but show them exactly what it is that's going mm-hmm. on. So even if I wait until we have a bit of a base of communication to ask them, they know what's going on, when I approach the scene.